morning. Look who I have with me today. Brady, wait, stop. He was sitting so still. I thought he was going to listen to the story today, but that didn't happen. We're going to continue Ocean Week, and I have a book called Whales. It's a vocabulary reader, which means there's a lot of vocabulary words in here, but we'll just skim through since it's hard for you to see them. There's another contents or table of contents, which breaks it down by chapters. So chapter 1 is meet the whale, 2 is the whale behavior, 3 is what whales eat, and 4 is so many whales. So if you're ever doing a project or a paper and you needed to know about what whales eat, instead of reading the whole book over again, you would go right to chapter 3 and you would learn about what whales eat. So meet the whale. This is a humpback whale, and it says, now that's a whale of a creature. Hold on, it is a whale. This one's a humpback whale. And that's his flipper coming out of the water, just so you can kind of see. Blue whale. Blue whales can weigh way more than 20 elephants. So think about how heavy an elephant is, right? Pretty heavy. You've all seen an elephant at the zoo. A blue whale weighs 20 elephants. That's crazy. Whales are huge. In fact, blue whales are the biggest animals on Earth. Some are 100 feet long and weigh more than 300,000 pounds. That's a lot. I'll have to show you this picture closer because it shows you all the parts. So whales only have little hair. It's often on their heads. A whale is not a giant fish. It's a mammal, like a seal, lion, or a person. Whales breathe air through their blowholes. Whales have 2 flukes. Whales move their tails up and down to swim through the water, and they use their flippers to steer. So a fluke is this back part of them, and it's like a guide. So it guides them right through. So they have 2 tails, or 2 ends of their tail. This is the dorsal fin. Okay, there's 2 blowholes right at the top of their head. They have an eye. There's their mouth. Okay, and this is a flipper. Okay, and this is a blue whale. How mammals and fish are different. So a mammal, which is a whale or a human, only breathe air. Fish only breathe underwater. So there's differences. A mammal have hair. See? Mine's getting long and out of control. Fish have scales. Scales, little scaly things. Those are like the little shiny things you see on the sides of their body. Mammals nurse babies with milk. Fish lay eggs. There you go. Chapter 2, whale behavior. So this whale behavior is called breaching. And it's a humpback whale. And they actually jump out of the water, turn on their backs, and smash into the water to make a big splash. I've actually seen this. I've been very fortunate to see this. This whale behavior is called lobtailing. So they lift up their tails, just their tails, and they go smack, smack on the water. These are both humpback whales. Whales are ocean acrobats. They can leap high into the air and then spin around and hit the water. Splash. Whales also slap their tails against the water. Smack. Scientists think that this may be a way of communicating with other whales. Pretty interesting. This whale behavior is called spy hopping. So it's hard to tell, but this is actually his face. I think his eye, is right there. So this is a gray whale. And this whale behavior is called spouting. And this is him on the surface of the water, and that's his blowhole. He's just blowing the air out of his blowhole. So this one's a blue whale, this is a gray whale. So spy hopping and spouting. Sometimes whales poke their head out of the water. Well, why? Well, they want to know what's going on up there. So he's kind of like spying. So it's called spy hopping. He's taking a look around. Whales take long, deep breaths between swims. When they breathe out, water shoots high into the air. It's amazing. and this is a beluga whale. Whales talk to other whales with squeaks, grunts, moans, and clicks. They also like to play. This beluga whale is chasing a bubble that it blew. I'll show you that picture first. So the beluga whale blew his own bubble and he's chasing it. These are the ones, the beluga whales you might see at Marineland or SeaWorld. This picture of migrating gray whales was taken from an airplane. So this is taken way up in the air from an airplane, and you can see the whales just under the surface of the water. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 whales there. So an airplane high up above took that picture. That's pretty amazing. So whales travel in groups called pods. Many whales migrate north to cold water in the spring, and then they return south to warm water in the fall. And this kind of shows you, so in the fall, they start way up here and they travel down. We live over here. So whales are typically in the Pacific Ocean where it's much, much cooler. And they travel up this way. And there are whales in the other oceans, but they're just giving you an example. What whales eat? Now this is, I'm interested in because I'm not even sure. So beluga whales and sperm whales have teeth. And there's a beluga whale, and if you look real close, you can see his teeth. Whales have to consume a lot of food to fill up their big bodies. So what do they eat? Well, it depends. There's fish, squid, and sea lions. Some whales have teeth. Whales with teeth will eat fish, squid, and crabs. They also eat seals and seabirds. So a menu for a toothed whale. So here's what, if they have teeth, here's what they eat. Fish, crabs, squid, octopus, sea stars, snails, seals, sea lions, and seabirds. And I know that's sad, but that's kind of part of the plan, that they eat things in the ocean, which eat other things in the ocean. It's called a life cycle, and you'll learn about more like that. But it's almost like a fish, when you're fishing, eats a worm. So the worm gets eaten by the fish. And who eats fish? We do. I know I do. I know my daughter eats fish sticks. So it's kind of a big cycle. So very neat. So this is a right whale. This is baleen. Right whales, blue whales, and humpback whales have baleen, and I didn't know this. This looks like it almost looks like a sponge, or like little lines. Some whales have comb. It looks like a comb, perfect if you know what a comb is. Some whales have comb-like baleen. They eat by taking big gulps of water filled with tiny sea creatures, and then they push the water out through their baleen, and the sea creatures that stay in their mouths are their meals. So it's almost like when Mom makes spaghetti noodles. When she's done, she dumps it into that colander, that almost, it's a metal thing. It either has holes in it or it looks like a screen, and all the water comes out, but the pasta stays in the bowl and doesn't touch the dirty sink. So same thing with baleen. It sucks in, it gulps up a large gulp of water, pushes all the water out through the baleen, and whatever's left over stays in their mouth. So whales with baleen consume very tiny creatures. How do these giants fill themselves up? During the summer, they eat and eat and eat, and some eat more than 5,000 pounds of food a day. Here's plankton, and here's krill. They look like tiny little shrimp almost. And a menu for a baleen whale is plankton, krill, and tiny fish. So many whales. This is a humpback whale. There are 80 different kinds of whales in the world. This is a humpback whale. Male humpbacks sing long, beautiful songs. Scientists have recorded these songs for people to enjoy. This is a beluga whale. Beluga means white one in the Russian language, and they almost look white. They're like a grayish white. Meet the beluga whale. This white whale is very social, and that means it likes to be around other members of its species. Belugas sometimes travel in huge groups with 10,000 members. So we have a humpback whale and a beluga whale. Sperm whales are great divers. They can dive 2 miles deep. Narwhals have a long spike growing out of their heads. It looks like a unicorn horn, but it's really a tooth. I did not know that until I read this book. Gray whales migrate farther than any other mammals. Some travel 10,000 miles each year. Southern right whales are very slow. They only swim about 5 miles per hour. That's my kind of whale. So we have a sperm whale. Here's the narwhal, and you can see the long thing that looks like a unicorn horn, which is a tooth. We have a gray whale. We have a southern right whale that's very slow. Are you ready for one last fact about whales? Like a snowflake, the tail of every whale is unique. This is how scientists who study whales tell them apart. Wow, I didn't know that either. So here's the tail of a sperm whale. Here's the tail of a gray whale, kind of has spots on it. Humpback whale, white. A blue whale, looks kind of long and thinner. Very cool. And here's just some vocabulary words that we talked about. And that's it. Well, it's kind of a long story today, but pretty cool. So we'll see you later, and I'll talk to you soon.